All right, welcome back, everybody. NSA Bulls Podcast. We're back for another week.
Yes, sir.
How y'all all feeling today?
Feeling good, man. Can't complain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
That's good. That's good. Fresh off the Thanksgiving week.
Full, man. I'm still feeling the food from how many days ago?
Yeah. I still got them to-go plates. Got to eat them before it all become stale at that point. Leftovers, yeah.
Sad.
Still got the aluminum foil wrapped in the refrigerator. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Eating good.
Yeah, absolutely. But we back for another week, y'all, where we talk about the Chicago Bulls,
Yes, sir.
the NBA,
Yes, sir.
and all topics worth discussing.
You dig.
Yeah. So kick it off, the Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
They did a little bit of a 360 from the week prior, right? So they was 0-3 last week.
Yep.
2-1 this week.
Yep.
We just coming off two good wins against, Boston and then Milwaukee, two top teams in the East. And then we lose in typical Bulls fashion to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right.
So how do y'all feel about what y'all been seeing, in terms of what's been going on with the Bulls right now?
I mean, it was really good to see the Bulls get those two games against those elite teams, which was the Celtics and the Bucks. But it's a bummer, of course, dropping the ball against the Thunder. Even though they have a great talent, we expect to win, and we didn't get it, man. So that's just another story of the Bulls playing to the level of competition and taking these lower teams for granted, the situation. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel the same way about that. How you feel about that, Austin?
So originally I had the Bulls going 2-1, but I had them losing to the Bucks and winning against OKC.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good because the Bucks, I think it's been 5 years since we won at the Bucks stadium.
Okay.
That's kind of bizarre, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm very impressed by that win. I feel like the Bulls can tune in and play like that against, on a consistent basis. Then shit, we can compete with anybody.
The thing is, they didn't have Middleton though.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I mean, but it's still a great win.
Yeah,
It is a good win. It was a good win. The way they was hitting shots, the way Kobe White was hitting shots in that game, the way Vucevic was hitting shots late. I actually watched that game and they was balling. They wanted to win that game. You can tell. So
yeah, I'm happy with what I see, but it's always that feeling of disappointment at times because you obviously want to see more. Really ecstatic. I was out with my family and stuff like that when they won against Milwaukee. And after that, I was like, the shot's on me. I was pretty happy, excited about what I had saw prior to Thanksgiving. But this Oklahoma City Thunder game, that's the most recent game, right?
Yeah.
They just beat themselves. And I feel there are some positives in the last three games. Patrick Williams.
He's been stepping up.
We've been on his case.
Yep.
But he's had 3 straight games now in double figures.
Yep. He's been more aggressive.
He's been balling.
But to even piggyback off that, it's not even the offense that I'm seeing. It's the defense. Even against Milwaukee, him guarding Giannis, really getting into him. That's noticeable on my end. Damn, this dude's really locking down, sitting down on defense.
Exactly. I saw him trying to grab the ball physically from Giannis.
Right.
Because Giannis is just he's a train. He just gonna keep coming directly through your defense. So Patrick Williams actually took on the challenge, and I'm happy to see that he's trying to show a little more aggressiveness, and then he's bringing it on the offensive end too, and he's shooting a pretty good clip right now too in the last 3 games. And you see, it's funny when he starts playing like that, it reflects on the Bulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like we should have went 3-0.
Absolutely,
we should have went 3-0. And talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder game, there were some positives. We got Goran Dragic back. He wasn't playing in the Milwaukee game. But, I felt like they were trying to do too much isolation in that game towards the end. And they were getting away from what was working, right? So Nikola Vucevic, right? We was on his case all last year about how he shoots too many threes, right? He went 1 for 7 from 3 that game against Oklahoma City. But every time he played well, he was getting interior touches. In the first half of the game, he was doing it. Then he got away from that. And he outweighed his opponent by 70 pounds. So they had the advantage, and they decided not to use it. So to that point, I feel like that's more of a coaching mechanism there, where they were just like, okay, we can just win this way. We complicate the game and try to give it to DeRozan, and he was shooting pretty badly, him and LaVine.
Yeah, it's kind of like they went away from going down to Vooch in the third game. Because the first two games, they were doing that. They were attacking the paint with him, and like you were saying, is kicking it out and letting the offense flow. But in that last game, they kind of reverted back to their old style. And that seems like it's a thing with the Bulls. They get criticized, they come back, they play hard, they play like they're supposed to play, and then they go back a couple games later and revert back to their old ways.
Yeah.
So it's like you just gotta be consistent.
Yeah, that's my thing with them. They act like they've earned it.
Yeah.
They act like they've earned to be lazy when they just are a new up and coming team just last year.
Yeah.
And all of these guys got an extra year of teamwork under their belt. But I just I'm trying not to get overly focused on that Oklahoma City game, but I didn't like the fact that they made that game more complicated than it should have been. So that's my takeaway for the Bulls for right now. Zach LaVine in general, he's still not shooting, at a good clip. I mean, he had a good, fourth quarter, from a point perspective, but he wasn't shooting too well. Him or DeRozan was shooting too well. And they was trying to do too much isolation down the stretch.
Yeah, man. Like I was watching the OKC game, and it kind of boils down. For me, the main thing that sticks out for me is the last shot that DeRozan took at the end of the game.
That was a tough shot.
Terrible,
tough shot.
Like what kind of I understand they ain't had no timeouts, right? But it's like, come on, bro. You literally got the ball, walked it up the court, and took a horrible shot.
Contested shot.
Nobody else touched the ball.
Exactly. And that's my thing with DeRozan. As talented as he is and as much needed as he is, he tries to do the hero stuff way too much. And he doesn't revert and say, all right, let me do this, right? Let me give Zach a little bit of credit, right? So Zach, what I've noticed is that his passing has got a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Still a little bit lackadaisical, I would say, where he just telegraphed the pass. Yeah. But DeRozan, at times it's just he's overly looking to score. He's not, trying to get the offense involved. There are the games like the Milwaukee game, he had 8 assists, right? So it's what remedy works, but let's get away from the remedy. I don't understand that logic. 8 assists, you had 36 points, 8 assists in the game against Milwaukee. That's a really good game because it just shows that you were getting the guys involved, but you were also, making your shots. But then you go to Oklahoma City and you weren't really scoring that well or efficiently, but you also weren't getting guys involved. So it's you can't win the same way every single time, and that's what I was trying to say.
But some of that comes from other guys making shots too, because you always gonna have DeRozan had a ball, kind of drive, pump fake, and then draw the double team and then kick out. Guys like Kobe White, he had 8 points in that OKC game. To be honest, I feel like Kobe White should be averaging around 14.
Yeah, I agree.
In order for him to be you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Goran Dragic, he only played 11 minutes, 2 points. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of balance.
He was just getting back from injury, but still.
Well, you know what I'm noticing though? It's hard. I think it's hard for Billy Donovan when when all of these guards are available. What I notice is that it seems so, on my point of view, that when they're all available, they're all healthy, it's harder for him to know who to rotate in or out and how many minutes to give, right? Mm-hmm. That even goes down to our big man. I think Andre Drummond only had 7 minutes of play. You know what I'm saying? So it's he doesn't know how to mix all of this in, and he's struggling with that is what I feel like he is, because the lineup changes don't make sense sometimes. He will have 4 guards in at one time, and I'm you're not getting any rebounds. You're not getting any rebounds. And I don't believe in having too many bigs out there either, because, the way the game is now, you need a little bit more spacing. So you can't have, Drummond and Vooch out there at the same time, right. Not for too long of spurts. But
right.
Yeah.
But it's players like Vucevic, it's players like Dusomo. If you playing these amount of minutes, you got to be closer to 20 than 10. And Ayo, he had 7 points. He had 13 points. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Williams got 11 points. You playing these minutes, you got to be closer to 20 than 10.
But I would give more of that blame towards the coaching in DeRozan and LaVine, because they come on the court, and although we need their scoring, they look too heavy on it. because they not even getting in the flow of a game or offense. They trying to just like jack stuff up. Right. Like it was plays where Levine would just shooting 3-pointers from 3 feet out behind the 3-point line, pump faking, and then shooting it. Mm-hmm. And it's okay. Like those shots sometimes go in, but it's like a make or mix league. Those shots don't go in, it's considered a bad shot.
Right.
Right.
Especially if the other team go get an easy bucket. I be hating that. Like when the Bulls come down, take a horrible shot, and then the other team come down, get a real easy bucket. Yeah. I be hating that shit.
Yeah. It's like the Bulls, to me, how they come off sometimes is that they know they got all these offense of weapons or guys that can put the ball in the basket. Mm-hmm. And they so indecisive of what they really want to do every time they come on the court. They don't have like a flow. Right. That, okay, like this is what we doing. And I mean, you're not going to always know preordained, like I want to do this. But it just seems like because they got so many options, they don't know what to choose. That's what it seemed like. Oh, I should give it to Goran. I should give it to Kobe. I should let Zach. And then it's like they looking up and now they rushing on the shot clock.
And that's basically like not having an identity.
Exactly.
They don't have a true identity of how they really want to run their team.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like they really lose games. And these are kind of games, honestly, that can come back and haunt you. You can't play Boston every game. You can't play Cleveland every game or any top team every game. You know, because those top teams, the reason why they in the top right now is because they beat the teams they're supposed to beat. You know, and that's the thing about the Bulls is that they got to stop playing around and stop doing that because, you know, you lose, let's say you lose 15 to 16 games throughout the season like that, right? That could be the difference between you locking in, you know, a 6th or a 5th seed or being in a play-in. You see what I'm saying? Like,
or being in the top 4 versus being in the 8th seed, being in the 7th seed.
Exactly. So they got to approach, their mindset has got to change that every game matters. Because once again, we are not a championship level team. We haven't proved it yet. We don't have the cachet to just go out there and say, well, we know how to turn it on when we want to turn it on. We don't know. We got to play every game like every game is game 7. That's how we got to play. And until we can get that identity and that focus where it's on a consistent, like natural instinct, we can't be just taking games off. That's how I look at it for the Bulls right now. But there are some good pieces, though. Patrick Williams is coming up.
What y'all think about Kobe White? I feel like he's an instrumental part of just from a scoring standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can be streaky, but I think that it's important for guys like him to get confidence. Yep. And it's important for guys like him to be in rhythm, right? You're going to miss shots. We get it. But look how when he hit those shots, how he made the game a little bit more open against. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Those were makeable shots for him. It wasn't like he threw a shot off the backboard, going out of bounds like some Sean Elliott shit. You know, like that didn't happen. You know, that was a straight makeable shot that he played, that he does all the time, right? He just, he made it. And, obviously Vucevic hit that shot. But if you look at those plays carefully, Milwaukee stayed to their game plan and said, we doubling DeRozan. Mm-hmm. And what happened? He gave the ball up and they hit those shots.
All right.
So
it's like sometimes it's good for teams to double DeMar so other people can step up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I love DeMar. I mean, like, I know we need him. Mm. But sometimes, like, he just get into that hole sometime where he think that's what we got to do. In that Oklahoma City game, we did not need him to shoot.
No.
What kind of shots he was shooting.
I mean, he could have ended the game with 20 points.
He could have, 20 points.
Yeah, he had a monster third quarter. He had 18 in the third.
In that Milwaukee game, yeah.
I'm talking about DeRozan,
Yeah. He was killing the third. He went nuts.
Yeah, I mean, these lower level teams, we don't really need him to. I mean, you can come out the game with 19 points as long as you spreading the ball and we got the win.
Yeah. That's why I say it's important for the development of those other guys because those are the guys you're going to need when we're in the playoffs.
Yeah, what I see, like Kobe White with 14, that's a good number.
That's a good number.
Javonte Green with 11. Like, if you can just get 11, like 10 around, just stay around 10 points.
Exactly.
And then Patrick Williams, I say he can do 17.
15, 17.
That would be in a perfect world.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's the identity. Like, we can see the identity of the team. It's just that they
got to do it.
They just got to perform.
Or implement something into place that they can allow themselves to do it.
Yeah. I saw a stat, too. I think Kendall Gill alluded to this, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But he said something about, like, when Vucevic takes 4 more threes, that the Bulls are like under 500 team. But when he shoots under 4 threes, they're like they win like 60% of their games or something like that. So it's like not using your size like in those implements. But I feel like that's more the coaching. Like saying, look, we need that. Everybody wants Lonzo Ball to come back because that even out everything. But I just think that we just so far away from getting him back. Yeah. Because especially with the way that the league is, with the loan management and stuff like that, even if he's healthy, they're going to wait another like month or 2 months on top of that before they like implement him in the lineup. They might send him to the G League, to get rhythm back. And then, when you start adding all that up, you're like, man, this dude might not be back till next season. That's what it feels like.
I mean,
I hope I'm wrong.
This is like second week in a row that we're kind of calling out coaching a little bit, but it is time for, some adjustments on Billy Dalvin end just to get some things in motion, because we got a good team, Lonzo Ball or not, man. We still got a good team, and if you put certain coaches probably in the Bulls situation, they can still make something happen. Mm-hmm. And we probably already have a couple more wins than that we lost. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Bulls. There's still some upward swing going on. I mean, at the point of this podcast, we got Utah Jazz tomorrow. Yep.
And hopefully we can get into that. Right now, currently, I think the Bulls are at the 12th seed right now in the Eastern Conference. Everything's rather jumbled up right now. So, it's still early, still under 20 games left in the season.
Yep.
So there's still time for that improvement, but these early losses can certainly count against you later down the season, especially when everybody is trying to make that playoff push.
Yeah.
So just got to take them when you can get them, What else are y'all seeing around the Bulls right now, or just in general, around the league in general, like in terms of, how the other teams around the league are going around and stuff like that?
Well, I want to start off with the Kyrie thing. Yeah, so I just wanted to go ahead and just talk about the Kyrie thing really quickly, just because it's interesting. So how do you guys feel about his comments?
Comments about the
Thanksgiving
thing?
Yeah.
I didn't think much of it. I think, Kyrie's never been shy about just telling people like where his point of view stands. It's a freedom of speech.
Yeah.
We should be able to exercise that right. But, he's already said on plenty of occasions in terms of like embracing his, heritage, Native American heritage as well, years prior. Yeah. So it's, to me, rather counterproductive if you were celebrated. What's your take on that?
When I look at it and I kind of run it through my brain, I came to the conclusion like Kyrie is done code switching. And what I mean by that is he's gonna stand on his square and he's gonna just be the person who he feels like he should be. Like, and he doesn't really care who has an opinion about what he says or does. So as long as he doesn't like offend anybody else, or he doesn't like demean anybody else, then he can be free. He has the ability to be free like that, and most people don't in this world or society don't have that ability to do that.
Yeah, and then just to tell everybody out there, Kyrie, what he was asked about Thanksgiving, it appeared, and do you have a message for the fans this Thanksgiving weekend? And he basically said that Thanksgiving is not a holiday for me, but blessings for everybody that's celebrating, but it's not something that I'm into, but blessings pretty much.
And enjoy the food. So he deduced it to enjoy the food and God bless, like your family, like like you can't get mad at something like that.
Yeah, but I find it funny. I was thinking, it's funny that they even asked him, because they probably know that his beliefs and holidays.
So you're getting the undertone of the question.
Yeah, so they still go ahead and ask him like.
I think he's just the NBA's low hanging fruit, right?
Yeah,
okay, that's a good point. Yeah. He's the NBA's low hanging fruit that they can't cut down, though.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. Well, I'm just saying, but the way I was going with it, you're right. They can't cut him down. That they just, want to talk about whatever he's going through or what he says. You know, they're just kind of like hanging on until like really strong. You know, but I just, you know, I don't find much value in, you know, doing that. You know, not from Kyrie's standpoint, just the media, but you know, it just I don't see why they feel like they need to do that. But the point of view is that they just want to. He's just like the main focus area.
Yeah,
it's almost like in another sport. Or they did this with Terrell Owens, like in football. Like he was just like that guy that anything he did, anything he did, it was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Let's drill in on that.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the thing. And it's just like, you know, he can't say nothing without it being, you know, let's talk about it. Let's discuss this. You know,
do you think,
that kind of thing.
Do you think Kyrie should have never said it's not a holiday for me? Or
I think he's well within his right to say what he want to say about it. I mean, he's always been respectful of how he says things. But, you know, you can't control how somebody feels of what you say. You know, somebody could be like, my feelings are hurt. I can't control everybody's feelings because somebody else's feelings over here might be opposite. Yeah. You know, so it's just like, I always say feelings come and go. You know, so I just don't feel like it's worthy of, you know, grappling on the Kyrie as if like everybody should be in unison of what he doesn't believe in.
Like I said, he's at a point where he's done code switching and he's comfortable in facing any question that comes his way. Like, yeah, I'm gonna answer it, but I'm still gonna let you know that this is not what I do. This is not what I kind of subscribe to. So,
yeah.
To answer your question, yeah, I mean, like, who cares? Like, at the end of the day, who cares?
People care.
People care, but like, who cares that they care? Is that what I'm trying to say? Like, like,
yeah. So, I mean, but nonetheless, though, I mean, he's done really good job on a basketball standpoint, implementing back into the offense with them.
Yep.
You know, he's been playing pretty well coming back. You know, last time we shot our last episode, the day of that episode was his first game back into the lineup. So he's been playing pretty well. They've got some really good pieces over there that's been playing pretty well. When we go to the Brooklyn Nets, they got some good shooting going on right now with Seth Curry. I believe the gentleman's name is Watanabe. I'm off on his name right now. You know, I got to pull up the Brooklyn Nets roster real quick. So Watanabe, yeah. So like he's shooting pretty well. I think right now he's currently number 1 3-point field goal percentage in the league right now.
Wow.
So he's playing pretty well. Ben Simmons is starting to look like
he's been playing better.
Let's talk about Ben Simmons. Before that though, like Kyrie, he's been averaging like 25 since he been back.
Yeah,
like 25.
Is it true? Was he hooping in Skechers?
No, I don't think that was. I think he was hooping in the black Kyrie fours.
Okay, because I heard there's rumors out there he got dropped from Nike hooping in Skechers.
Well, I think he did get his contract and discontinue with Nike, which that's another topic for another time. But you know, I mean, no, he wasn't hooping in no Skechers. I think somebody else was like, no, they ain't no Skechers. Those are, you know, those
Can
are.
you imagine if he was really hooping in Skechers?
Yeah, black Kyrie.
Not a good look.
Well, if you hooping in Skechers and he's still putting up 25, they share price might go up.
Yeah,
know, like them shareholders be like, hey man, you know,
might be a good time to go into
Skechers. Skechers and give it the company. Hey, take it to company.
All the hoopers going over there like, man, we get them new Skechers, right?
You're right.
Like, man, you're not Kyrie, brother.
Got the new Kyrie Skechers.
I don't know about that.
But yeah,
Too
so
much.
Ben Simmons though, he been playing better, right?
Yeah, he's been playing good.
He's been playing visibly more confident.
Yeah,
like,
visibly. Yeah.
Like just more like I'm gonna get the ball, I'm gonna make a move, I'm gonna shoot the shot if it's there. Like that's what I've been seeing from Ben Simmons. So if he keep playing like that, man, putting up 20 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yeah, like he did against Indiana. That was something. He did have a pretty decent game in his comeback against Philadelphia. That was just a few days back. So they lost that game, which they had no business losing that game because none of Philly's top players were even playing. Top 3.
Yeah.
Maxey wasn't playing either.
Maxey,
Yeah, Maxey, James Harden, nor Embiid was playing, and they still lost.
Embiid wasn't playing either?
No, Embiid wasn't playing.
Yeah,
they still lost.
That's a bad loss.
Yeah, that's a bad loss. So that's one of them Chicago Bulls losses.
That boy PJ Tucker had 0 points. PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
0 points. They've been talking about him online lately.
Yeah.
Last
So,
couple
you know, you
games.
see Ben Simmons, he's trying to shake off the cobwebs a little bit. He's trying to, like, you know, say, like, I thought, like, Philadelphia was going to be louder. You know, that kind of thing like that.
He's been hitting some free
the
throws.
cockiness.
Yeah, he's trying to get his ego back, you know, which I can respect that, you know. They're going to need him to be his full version of himself in order for them to be a respectable team. Can't just put it all on Kyrie and Kevin Durant. And then, obviously, I can't forget Seth Curry. I mean, I feel like he's getting traded in different teams just because he's not his brother, you know.
Yeah.
But he's a phenomenal player.
I mean, nobody wants to, like, fully commit on him.
Yeah, which I think is wild because in this league, the shooters league, he always going to have a place. I mean, he gonna be in this league for a long time. You know, I mean, it's always going to be somebody. I would love to have him on the Bulls. You know, swap him out for Kobe White. As much as I like Kobe White, Seth Curry is automatic. You know, he's shooting probably, I think, at least somewhere around like 42, 43% from three.
And what team he on now? The Nets?
Brooklyn.
No, yeah.
Seth Curry's on Brooklyn. Like, he wasn't playing early in the season. I think he had some injury. I could be wrong about that. But, you know, he got back in the lineup, and when Kyrie was out, they was playing pretty good, pretty solid. You know, and he just does his job out there. You know, but he allows it to be hard to double team on Kevin Durant and everything because you worried about those shooters.
And he's shooting like 40% from the field.
Yeah,
3-point.
good.
From 3-point.
Yeah. Yeah. So they got some pieces over there. And I like the guy O'Neal on their team as well, too. He's been shooting pretty confident. Royce O'Neal. He's been playing pretty good over there, too. So
yeah, he's been balling.
Absolutely.
Sure. He was out there in Utah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, other teams around the league, you know, Eastern Conference, let's stick on that real quick. You know, we talk about the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
Talk about
the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Yep.
You know, Boston is like 11-1 in their last 12. Their only loss coming to the Bulls. Right? And you know, the Bucks are right up there too. You know, second in the East. These are like these teams you expect them to be.
We expect those teams to be up there. We expect
one is
those
a champion,
to be
the
the
other
top
one is
teams.
defending Eastern Conference champion.
Yep, they're probably gonna be battling it out for that number one spot this season. But you know, we expect that from them. But we do. Okay, so we're starting to realize that the Cavaliers are going to be one of the top 5 teams in the league. I mean, it was probably assumption out there, like, yeah, they're probably gonna do it, but I feel like they're really getting the job done. So shout out to the Cavaliers, man. Scary team in the East.
Yeah, they are. They are. I mean, like, they had a little bit of difficulty when they got Darius Garland back. Because Darius Garland, I mean, he's a pass first player, but he knows how to score too. So it was like a little bit, I felt like, of, you know, understanding of like him being in the lineup with Donovan Mitchell, you know, with the other guys as well that we talked about before, with Kevin Love and all those other guys that can score the basketball pretty good. How is that going to work? Because I think he put up a 51-point game last week, and then they still lost. So it was just like, but they've been working good lately, and then obviously the Atlanta Hawks, going to them, they've been playing pretty good too. I would expect that. I mean, with Trae Young, and then you got DeJounte Murray, they've been playing really good as well. They both went off one game earlier this week where Trae Young went for 44, and you know, they still lost though, actually, unfortunately. But DeJounte Murray went for 38. So they got 44 and 38 from their top 2 players, and they still lost the game. You know, so it just, like I said, man, it's a scoring league right now. You know, and it's just, these teams are putting up 120 points and 115 points, like night in, night out, like whoever you're going against. So this is why I talk about, loop it back to the Bulls, why it's so important that you lock in defensively. Because you cannot stop these guys every night. There's somebody going to drop 35 points on you. You know, especially in the way they play the game today. They're going to let you just get into your chest area like Bruce Bowen or something.
Yeah, I don't think we should downplay. I know we said we should get comfortable and just, you know, accept the fact that Lonzo Ball isn't going to be a part of the Bulls anytime soon, but we don't got our team.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we at the 12th spot, we 8-11, but I mean, we still gonna, I feel like at the end of the day, we still gonna be up there around the 7th seed. Solid.
I think so too. But they gotta get their act together early. because these other teams, I'm not saying every team up there, with the exception of the Bucks and the Celtics. I'm not saying every team up there it isn't doing that. But it's just that you don't want to be in a position where you fighting for seeding, because you didn't do that early in the season.
Right.
So that's where I don't want us to be. I want us to be more proactive as opposed to reactive.
Yeah, and I think what team is that? Orlando Magic got our lottery pick. If we don't get like the top 4, one of the top 4 picks, the Orlando Magic got our lottery pick first round because of the Vucevic trade.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? You gotta be mindful of these type of interworking dealings. So it's not like we can tank. We can't tank this year unless, you know what I'm saying, that's a big risk.
Yeah.
Or we be setting up the Magic real good type shit. So
yeah. The Eastern Conference is already hard enough as it is, so we don't need to make it hard on ourselves. And let's talk about the Western Conference right now. Phoenix is killing it. What would you expect? Devin Booker is playing lights out right now.
Hey, I told y'all. I asked, is Devin Booker versus what's his name? Jason Tatum. Y'all was like, hands down, unanimous, Jason Tatum.
I still think Jason Tatum.
Booker, okay.
I still would say Jason Tatum.
That's fair. I mean, they right there. They two of the best guards in the NBA.
That'd be a good finals.
Would it be?
I think so.
You said it'd be good finals.
Phoenix versus Boston?
Yeah. I can't really say who will win, definitely. Like, I feel like the Celtics will win, but it's not like definitely.
I think the Celtics will win. I think the Celtics will win if it were to come down to that. And the reason why I say that is because, they both been to the finals the last 2 years, but I just feel like Boston, them getting to the finals was more like,
we're here,
not fluky. Like that's the best way to put it. Like, not fluky. Like, it just seemed like they didn't have stars lined up as much because they had to go through. Because one of those series, I thought they was gonna lose. I thought they was gonna lose to Milwaukee when they lost 3-2 and they had to go on the road or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they had to fight against Milwaukee, and Milwaukee took a series lead. And then they obviously swept Brooklyn last year. So they went through some talented teams. But Phoenix has as well, but I always felt like with Phoenix is like a little bit of a different vibe for me. That's just how I look at it. I could be wrong, but they got some talent on their team. We'll see how it all pans out. And then you obviously got the Grizzlies at the top, the third seed right now.
So we expect the Grizzlies to always just be a top team from now on.
How long are you talking about from now on? You saying like for the next couple of years or?
As long as they got Ja Morant.
As long as they keep those other pieces around him.
Yeah.
Because he's extremely talented, but they've proved they can really win games without him too.
Yeah.
Which is really good to have because it shows sustainability, which means that if you take him out the lineup, that they still know how to win games like that, which means they don't have to rush him back from injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Which also means that, they have depth.
Yeah.
And they play with a lot of confidence. So, as they should. So, they'll definitely be there to answer your question about that. Now, the Pelicans, on the other hand, the Pelicans, man, they punched us in the mouth twice. So, they're going to be a problem. I think Zion, he in and out of the lineup a little bit, but when he come back, he getting 28 points and 12 rebounds. He's playing well. He's playing phenomenal lately. I think he had like 32 and 11 like last game. So he's playing good. And CJ McCollum's playing good. They just got, pieces. Brandon Ingram, we already talked about how elite he looks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but they don't have that extra oomph to get over the hump.
Pelicans?
Yeah.
No, and they shouldn't because not right now, at least my standpoint. I feel like they are going to catch a lot of people on notice. I feel like they talented enough to get out the first round.
Yeah.
But, it really just depends on where they land. Like, who are they playing in that first round?
And Zion, too. Can Zion be that superstar?
Well, the thing with him, because now they got talent around him, like that can create their own shot and all this kind of stuff like that, it's almost like a little bit of Ja Morant, but not quite because Ja Morant has proved it in the playoffs. Zion hasn't done it yet.
Exactly.
But
Ja Morant is definitely a little bit more proven.
Yeah. There's no comparison right now, but I would say that on a team standpoint, they both have the ability to heavily rely on their teammates, which means that if they do get hurt, because they both a little injury prone, just a little bit more so Zion is, but their teams have enough depth where they can win some games without them.
So which team has more talent, the Grizzlies or the Pelicans? Talent.
I mean,
I feel like
tough.
I feel like
I don't think it's tough. I think the Pelicans definitely have more talent.
Yeah,
but the Grizzlies have a nice duo with Desmond Bain and John Morant
and Team Karat.
I think the Grizzlies have more talent. I think that Pelicans have more top heavy talent though. Like if you say they top players, I would say Pelicans. But if you go off 1 through 12, I feel like the Memphis Grizzlies got some guys on their bench that can get you 15 to 18 points. Like I can't see Alvarado getting 18 points.
I think the Pelicans got a more well-rounded team. The Grizzlies got a more top-heavy team.
So when we look at
it's hard for me
Memphis
even
got Jaren Jackson.
But without even looking at this list, it's hard for me to even name some Memphis Grizzlies players.
Well, I mean, like they're not household names, but they still are some guys that you really got to pay attention to.
I didn't even know they had Danny Green.
Yeah. Okay on that roster. But I mean, you got Dylan Brooks, you got Desmond Bain, right? And then Jaren Jackson. They got they team in general overall. I do like Tyus Jones off the bench though. Like I said, he can get you 15 to 18. I don't know if Alvarado can get you 15 points. He can be a pest on defense.
No, he can't really get you 15.
Yeah, he can't get you 15 to 20 points. And I'm not saying points are the only thing that matter. But I feel like, to stay afloat, they got a couple of guys on the team that can. Now, Memphis, Pelicans on the other hand, they got some hoopers too.
They might be top heavy.
More so.
It might be top heavy.
More so.
Yeah, they fall off after Zion, Brandon Ingram,
it's they top.
CJ McCullough.
Yep.
Valanciunas.
Now, Dyson Daniels killed us, though. He put up like 5 or 6 threes on us.
Oh, who that is, really?
I'm not familiar. He was smacking a lot of threes on us when he was in the Bulls played the Pelicans in their home.
That might be an equal team. They might be like equally balanced, like from.
You know what? This is a good topic though, because I also feel like another team you can throw in there, which is right underneath them, is Portland. Portland is really, really good.
But Portland has a bona fide
superstar,
like.
But they also got guys underneath them that are just like
killing. Yeah,
we're gonna talk about it a little later on. Jeremy Grant is hooping right now.
Jeremy Grant is hooping. And they got Gary Payton.
Yeah. I'm saying Gary Payton.
Has he been playing? I feel like I haven't seen him playing this year. Maybe he has. But.
What's his name be killing though? Anthony? No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anthony be killing.
Yep.
Anthony be killing, man. I think he just had like 38 points.
He's going to be a guy in the first, like, up and coming, like right now.
Yeah, he is.
Type of player.
He is. Yeah. They got some good pieces. But this is what you need. This is why it's important that, our team, like we look at the Bulls, because I compare every team to the Bulls. Because, I just want the Bulls to be a good team. We all do. But, the secondhand help, the depth that we have all the depth. It's just a matter of utilizing them the right way. And, make sure they all get the quality minutes.
So Billy Donovan, man, TikTok.
The West kind of looking odd though, man. You got the Mavericks at the 11th spot, the Warriors at the 10th spot.
Yeah.
It's like.
It is looking odd.
It's kind of like, how's this going to shake out when it's all said and done?
Yeah. I think, honestly, I expect, like anybody else would, I expect the Warriors to be like a top 4.
What's your top 8?
Top
what
8.
Do you think the West playoff is going to be?
For the West?
Yeah, for the West.
I'll probably have to say Phoenix. I got the Nuggets in there. I do have the Grizzlies. That's, I think the Pelicans don't drop a little bit, but they'll still be in there. So I say 4. Got Portland in there. I don't know about the Kings. I know they hooping right now, but I don't know. Because I have to put the Warriors in there that makes 6 right there. And I got to put the Mavs in there because, Luka is playing.
That's 7 right there.
That's 7 right there.
Sheesh.
And then, when we think about it, I got to put, I don't think Utah making the playoffs.
I think you got to put the Thunder in there.
I don't think they make
I want to say the Thunder.
I don't think they're making the playoffs.
But I think inexperience is going to be there.
No, because when I saw the Thunder against the Bulls, I was like, this is a very beatable team.
Very, yeah.
I'm like, y'all literally
They
just
doing
beating
it.
yourselves. Like when DeRozan was like jumping for like pump fakes with SGA like that, like he not even a 3-point shooter. And y'all just gave him 3 shots at the end of the game. But, you know, we look at that. I don't think the Thunder are going to make the playoffs.
The Timberwolves, low-key might be there.
Yeah.
They might just stick around the 9-10 spot and then get in.
What about the Lakers?
Did you say the Jazz? The Jazz, too.
I mean, the
Lakers not making the
funny thing about the Jazz was just in the number 1 spot. And I was just vouching for them that they'll probably keep that. But, damn, now they're...
You know what? It's like the
18.
Eminem song. It's like, snap
Hey,
back to reality.
We ain't talking about
back to reality.
We ain't talking about the Clippers either.
I know, right? So I feel like that last spot,
the Clippers problem, and let's talk about it real quick, just for a quick second. The Clippers problem is that they just got that vibe like we'll play when we feel like playing, like top players.
And that comes from Kawhi. That come off Kawhi.
He's ruining it. He's ruining a good opportunity right now.
Kawhi is one of my favorite players when he plays, but he never plays. So it's like you're hurting the team by doing that.
He actually been past that time frame for his ACL. At this point, it's just like we just load man. He already missed like 12 games.
I feel like it has to be one thing. Like maybe he's like a Anthony Davis type player where if he hoops all the time, he'll be in and out because of injuries or something. But we never really seen it, so we don't know. We're just speculating because he just tells the world that he can't hoop on a regular basis. Well, but what would happen if he actually did hoop every day?
You know what I think it all started is when they had the issue with San Antonio years ago, where he got misdiagnosed. When he got misdiagnosed and he started trusting outside sources more so than the team doctors, anything that looks like he's hurt, it's just like it goes to the 9th degree with him. You know, like it just feels like, all right, I'm hurt. I'm gonna be gone for the next.
But it seemed like he's
like 2 months.
But he's making it seem like he's always hurt though. Like
right.
Like he's not always healthy. Like it's something always lingering.
That's true. I just feel like he's one of those guys that he's creating that image of him where like if I'm not 100%, I'm not playing. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel like if I'm not 100%, I'm not playing. Like if I have like a little bit of knee like issue, I'm out. If I you know like that's how it's coming off. Like if I'm not 100% or as close to 100% as possible, I'm not playing. I don't care how high the stakes are. I don't care. I'm playing. And that's how it come off. His career numbers are going to be severely tainted because of this. Mm-hmm. Man, I mean.
He's still a Hall of Famer, but it's just like.
When you look back at his career numbers, though, he going to be like barely getting 15,000 career points, barely getting, 7,000 rebounds, stuff that he easily can get if he just play basketball.
Every game.
But he won't play. He won't play even when he clear like that. Or it's just like they team got this thing where like, well, let's protect him to the playoffs. Y'all better be hopeful y'all get in the playoffs. Because the way the teams are getting better now, but we'll see what happens.
So who you got for that last spot, Nick?
Well, I think Austin just said it, but I was gonna I have to throw Minnesota in there because their team is more they don't have as much talent as the Clippers, but their guys are gonna be available. That's the thing. That's the only thing with the Clippers. Like, because I would give it to the Clippers, but it's just hard to know. So what are you getting?
So you think the Clippers and the Timberwolves are going to be the only 2 teams battling for that spot? Who else?
Possibly around that time. I don't think the Jazz are going to make it. I think they're going to drop.
Damn.
They're going to drop. They started off hot and they're starting to get regulated. Like how the bank regulate loans. They getting regulated.
Who's on the Jazz? Like, they did lose.
And that Jordan Clarkson is nice. Jordan Clarkson is super nice. I wish, obviously you can't have everybody on your team. Like,
Yeah,
but he's super nice.
I think you're right.
They getting out of there,
So what about the Lakers?
The Lakers
they had no chance of being in the playoffs?
I mean, not this year, no. They started off too late.
7-11, I mean, they might pick it up. Depends on the next 10 games.
I can't see it because Anthony Davis has been hooping. Now LeBron came back. Now he out the lineup now. Anthony Davis is now out the lineup now. So when LeBron come back. Now, I mean, it could just be bad luck. But once again, just like the Clippers thing, like you can't get these guys to play at the same time.
And the thing about the Lakers, they don't really have that much talent outside of, I mean, what they looking like?
I mean, the Lakers got
talent. They're just not putting it together.
they got talent. They don't have the right pieces though. They got former Bulls player Troy Brown on their team, but they got some talent on their team. They just don't have the right pieces to gel with their top talent.
Exactly.
They just got names.
Yeah, outside of LeBron, Westbrook, and Davis, it's like,
yeah.
Where you go to?
Yeah, exactly.
What happens?
Exactly.
Well,
but you know what though? A lot of talent. We'll just see what happens coming on, like as the season progresses for both the Eastern and Western Conference. All right, fellas, I think it's that time. Time to go over what we always go over. We make this a weekly situation. At this point, I'm going to go over this week's certified bucket getters. So we got a pretty good list for us for this week. A lot of guys, as we talk about, put that ball in the basket. Some unfamiliar names, some familiar names. I'm just going to read them off. What we got is we got DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, his game against the Milwaukee Bucks. He put up 36 points and 8 assists. As I talked about that earlier, great game, very efficient game. So that was one of the top candidates for certified bucket getters for this week.
Yes, sir.
Leading off that, we got Giannis. Should come at no surprise. 38 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists versus Cleveland. Top team in the East. So him coming to play, obviously as you expect him to be, MVP candidate. So that's another game. Trae Young, I talked about him a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Trae Young with 44 points. He's going to have a lot of games like this, just the way the offense is ran, and the amount of shot attempts he gets and, the usage rate. But 44 points for him. It didn't come on a win, though, against the Rockets. They lost.
It's the Rockets. That's a bad That's a bad L.
Yeah. Him and old boy on Kevin Porter got into it as well, too. That was like getting a little chippy, but good for basketball, good for the viewers. So that's really good there. Anthony Davis, 37 points, 21 rebounds. Now that's Anthony Davis the Lakers need. They know he can do that. It's just a matter of can you be healthy, and that's it. That's the only issue with Anthony Davis, and we already talked about how he just missed their last game. Luka Doncic back on the list again, 42 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Against the Boston Celtics. They was pretty much fighting to get into this game for quite a while. They just trying to cut into it, and then Boston was able to keep their game, keep that lead, and secure that victory. Then you got back from the dead Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, despite his best game he's had since before the injuries. I'm sorry, 41 points, 20 points in the first quarter. So he looking like the old Klay, at least in that particular game. And that game came against Houston, So Houston has been on the receiving end of, getting buckets put on them.
That's like the little brother team.
Exactly. So that's like the team that you kind of get your warm-ups against. When we look at Jason Tatum as well in that same game with Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum went for 37 points and 13 rebounds versus Dallas. So that was a phenomenal game, that show that he put on going against Luka. And I'm pretty sure he came into the game knowing that we the top MVP candidates and I got to show out. And he did just that. But at that top CBG spot, certified bucket getter spot, I got Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant for Portland Trailblazers. The man went for 44 points. He went for 44 points against the New York Knicks. But the man had 28 free throw attempts. 28 free throw attempts, man, some James Harden type stuff. But he hit 21 free throws of that 28. He played phenomenal. He's had some 30-point games as well. But top spot for CBG goes to Jeremy Grant. So,
does that make him like the certified? Does that make him the top 2 spot on Portland? He got that number 2 spot, right?
I believe he does.
To have that many free throw attempts, they was really going to him.
Exactly. He was getting that James Harden treatment. 28 free throws. I thought it was a typo when I saw that. But yeah, 28 free throw attempts, 21 free throws made, 44 points for the game. That was the same game that Anthony went off for 38 as well. And that was against Detroit. So they won that game. So, winning, but putting up these points and winning is how we look at like you getting that top spot for CBG, because obviously Luka got numbers right up there, but that came with an L. So that 44-point game was phenomenal for him. And like I said, there's going to be people on this list that you don't expect, if you're a casual. Even those who watch the game a lot, this is not a normal name you hear all the time.
Right.
But 40-something points like that, that's pretty substantial. So, yeah.
A lot of scoring in the league. We're looking at this leader point list. Like 6 people that's averaging 30 points.
Exactly.
And then you might as well say 7 because KD's averaging 29.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, there's a lot of scoring going on right now.
It's a lot of buckets going on right now. I mean, you got guys that are playing better than their MVP years, and they're not even in the top 10 or top 5, like Curry, for example. His efficiency rating is actually higher on every category than he was when he won the MVPs. But yet, he's like top 5. But I think a lot of it has to do with scoring. He's like top 5 in MVP voting. He's not even top 5. When they put the list out, like end of the week or something like that, they said that he's not even top 5 right now.
So pretty much, if you're leading in points in the NBA, you're an MVP candidate.
For right now, yeah, that's the best way to put it. I mean, points has always been a sexy part of the game.
Yeah,
and it's always been a thing that a lot of people are attracted to. I mean, you've even had guys that used to be straight scoring killers, like Tracy McGrady tried to make an argument to Shaq, earlier this year or whatever on their podcast, that like he should have won MVP over Tim Duncan because he was averaging 36 a game or 34. So that was the angle.
What was their record though?
Trash. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Record was trash. You know what I mean?
Giannis, he averaging 30 points, 11 rebounds. That's like...
Talk about Giannis for a quick second, too, now that we talking about the stats. I mean, they said that he's the only player in league history to have more than 5 seasons consecutively averaging 25, 10, and 5. I'm like, how do they find these kind of stats? But yeah, they got a stat for everything, man. I mean, 25, 10, and 5. I think he's done it like at least 6 years in a row now. So they,
So when it's all said and done with Giannis, how many rings you think he'll get?
I think he's gonna squeeze 2 more out. I think it really obviously depends on the team. Because to me, when you're talking about getting past 4 and 5 rings, the stars got to line up right. Like, I mean, guys got to not be hurt. I feel like great talent can drag themselves to like 1, maybe 2. But I don't know about back-to-back. Like, back-to-back, you got to have the right type of team. You got to have the right type of coach, the right mix. And guys got to be healthy.
So if he ends up with 2 more rings, that'd be how many?
3.
3 rings. And then where would Giannis end up, like, career-wise? Like, top 7?
I think, honestly, like, his usage rate, because, I mean, like, he don't gun a lot. He don't shoot a lot of shots. He just super aggressive. I mean, I don't recall a lot of games with a man going out the game shooting 35 shot attempts or something like that. I think he shoot about the same clip all the time, in terms of like between between 20 and 24 shots a night, but he'll probably hit like 14 or 15 of them because then he'll be at the free throw line the other half of them, so I think he going to finish with well over like 25,000 career points and probably well over 10,000 rebounds. He's going to get what Kawhi could easily get if he played.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because like they play 2 different type of styles, but they both have the ability to be really up there with point totals, rebound, assist totals and stuff. But he got a good assist, average for, his style of play too. I mean, because he's so aggressive, the guys that he kicked the shooters out too, and they just like they'd be ready, and they'd be ready and they'd be knocking on those shots, which makes it even harder to kind of just want to double team him.
Right.
Yeah.
Even the Joker, he's still, putting up good numbers. 22, what he got? 22, 8 rebounds, almost 10 rebounds and 9 assists.
These guys are balling every game.
Yeah. Every game it brings more buckets. More buckets, more guys that know how to put that ball in that basket. So, this is exactly why you got to learn how to have a different niche in that league, because not everybody going to be able to do the same thing. Somebody got to say, look, man, I got to stop you. Yeah. Because this is getting out of hand. True. So good time.
So I guess we can just move on. Call It Like I See It with your boy SB. I don't really have a segment, but I have a discussion that I just want to, pose to you all. Superstars. I know we talk about this a little bit, like the difference between superstar and an all-star player. I just want to share names amongst each other of certified superstars in the NBA right now. I can start off. I'm gonna look at this list. I want to say Luka is a superstar. He came in the league quick, but he kind of cemented his spot as a franchise player. So I guess I can start with that name. Of course, Steph Curry, Giannis, and now I'm struggling.
Now he's struggling.
Now I'm struggling. Because I know. Well, I'm not really struggling, but I know these names could be debatable. First of all, is LeBron James still a superstar in the NBA?
Yes. I say yes, because I mean, everybody's list is different and what they look at, but how I look at it is a superstar is based on a lot of different categories, right? It's based on who do you pay your money to go see, right? Like you work all these hours or salary, whatever the case may be. When you want to go to the game, who are you really paying your hard-earned money to go see, right? So you got that. Then you got who do you expect to play great every night? Not, oh my God, I can't believe he had 30 points tonight. That was a great game for him. Like, no, it's like, no, I expected him to do that. Anything less than that is like mediocre for his standard.
Right.
So you got that. Then you got a resume, right?
A lot,
but it's got to be a recent resume. It can't be like, well, my last accolade was 2014.
Right.
You've already fell out the superstar category at that point.
It's not consistent.
Right. Because I mean, exactly. It's got to be of recent nature, like in the last 3 to 4 years.
All right. So I'm going to give some names. So you're saying LeBron James is still a superstar?
Yeah.
Austin?
To that question?
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron James is a superstar.
When do you think he was done with the superstar status?
I think for you to be a superstar, you gotta be able to get a ring that season. You capable of getting a ring that season. Like that's like when you all-star, like that's when you go pay money to go see. You go pay money to go see all-star. When you have a superstar on your team, that's somebody that you can go win a championship
right now
this season.
And the Lakers don't have a chance of doing that.
So you're saying that's interesting. So if you have a chance to win a championship, you are a superstar.
If you're the number one option on your team and you in the runnings to win a championship, you are a superstar.
So is Damian Lillard a superstar?
I don't think so.
Yeah, superstar.
So I want to throw some names out there.
Okay.
Jason Tatum. He a superstar.
I go back. To me.
Both of y'all.
Okay. I have literally been on record saying, no, he's not. Okay,
right.
But what I would like to say is, let me retool that.
Okay.
I feel like he's a superstar in the making. The reason why I give him that, he's on that bridge between all-star and superstar. Because like I said, superstar, you are expecting this person to be.
I mean, don't we expect him now?
No. I don't think the world expects Jason Tatum to have monster nights every night. They're not expecting him to do that. I think outside in Boston, yeah, because Boston is Boston. I mean, that's where he played, and they got a storied franchise, right? So they're going to have a different expectation than the world would have, right? But I feel like if he comes out of a game with 22 or 23 points, 24 points, he's not going to get slandered in the media for it. It's going to be like, all right, you just weren't feeling it tonight. You know what I mean? And now everybody's due a bad game, or bad games, I should say. But he, from a world standpoint, from a sports standpoint, he is not expected to go out there and go nuts.
I think he is.
I think
right.
If he don't, he got that benefit of the doubt.
It hasn't been long though.
If he don't get criticized for it. He's not gonna be like what superstars now.
I mean, they got criticized. They got criticized last year in the first part of the season.
Yeah, but again, that
media.
first half of the season, they weren't even in a close hunt of a championship.
And
No one expected them. They made a turn.
But that's why they were getting criticized.
They were getting criticized, not for that though. I don't believe it. I think they was getting criticized more so because they were underperforming for their talent level, like how the Bulls do.
But he was the main talent.
Him and Jaylen Brown and their youthfulness. That's what it was. They didn't want playing no defense, and they were just like coming up the court, just like, all right, everything's isolation. They were playing completely different that first half. What
is it fair? I mean, I might probably wrong on this, but is it fair to say you can only be a superstar if you got a ring?
I'm not
Can you only hit that superstar status when you have a ring? But just because you have a ring don't mean you're a superstar, but you got to have that credential. Because when I'm looking at this list, I see Steph Curry, Giannis, and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
They're still performing this year.
I didn't even finish my list, by the way, but
No.
You're right. You're right. I was gonna throw Kevin Durant on there too. But yeah, I agree with that to a certain degree.
You're saying no to Lillard, Damian Lillard.
I mean, my thing is like when I had that list, right? Of like what makes a superstar, he damn near got all of that because you expect him because of his playoff performances and what he does in regular season. You expect him to play at a high level.
His playoff performance,
he's been doing it for so long.
His playoff performances haven't equated to him getting to the finals though.
But that's not on him though. That's their team. Because he's been playing.
He's been putting up the numbers.
He's been putting up the numbers.
The numbers don't matter.
It'd be
the only number that matters is that win column.
The win column is
that's why. That's the thing about the whole superstar part, because part of my credential, how I look at it,
that's the super
you can throw
part
James
about
Harden
it.
in that, right? But the thing is I can't give it to James Harden because he takes a precipitous drop when the playoffs happen, whereas Damian Lillard rises up. Damian Lillard rises up his game.
So James Harden is not a superstar.
James Harden, the funny thing
I don't think
he got a
James Harden been to the finals though.
James Harden been to the finals as a six man. But the thing about that, what I'm trying to say is that, but like I said, it can't be back 2014. It's got to be recently, like last 3 or 4 years of sports world. Like LeBron won a championship in the last couple of years. You know, even though we don't like to count it.
So you don't have to, for you, Nick, you don't have to be a champion to be a superstar.
I think you should be, because look at that list. I mean, I actually see what Austin is talking about. But I also think that there's nuances that you got to think about. Like Luka Doncic ain't playing long enough to be championship.
Right.
Like, I mean, I feel like when he got drafted, 2019, 2018 or something like that? Like, it's only been about four years.
17 maybe.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Him and Trae Young came in together. But the point is like, every year they've been in the league, you weren't saying you should win a championship this year.
Right.
Like, you weren't expecting that. You knew that this was going to be a growth process. But the thing about Luka is that know every night, because he also did in the playoffs now. He's also, I think he's put himself in that category like Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Like, obviously he ain't been as long as Damian Lillard, but he's put himself in that category. You expect him to
So,
go off.
Austin, do you think Luka is a superstar?
No.
Yeah,
I don't.
Interesting take.
But look, like I go back to LeBron James. When LeBron James was on the Cleveland Cavaliers when he first got drafted, they wasn't 10th seed, 8th seed.
I mean, but that's just right now.
It is right now, but that's all I can go off of.
But Luka didn't finish 6th seed last year.
I'm not sure.
5th seed.
But still, like even still, you can still make the same comparison. LeBron, like his team was
number one.
But
talent was. I don't know.
His team was. I mean, it's Cleveland. It was Cleveland Cavaliers. We had Boobie Gibson, and
I know, but I'm saying like the talent as a whole in the NBA probably wasn't as good as it is now.
Yeah, but he still elevated that team. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like all these players at some point got a little bit more than the other in certain categories. Like
and
somebody
LeBron, he wasn't a superstar back then too, but his team was top.
So what made him?
Four.
Around what time did LeBron become a superstar? And
when he went to the Heat.
You don't think he was a superstar before that?
You really wait, hold on. I want to make sure I'm
That's tough.
Are you saying LeBron was not a superstar prior to joining the Miami Heat?
But that's also sticking to the championship thing.
Yeah, I mean, he went to the finals. You can go to the finals. If
he was down in the face of the NBA.
I'm saying you have to be able to win a championship So if you go to the finals, you have a chance to win the championship.
And he had a chance. Also, he had a chance.
So yeah, I mean, I retract my statement.
Okay. I'll say this. I get what his point of view is. What I'm trying to say is, it is based on your contemporaries. Because if the whole league, I'm gonna give you an example. Those league things you just listed, they all got a ring in recent memory, right? They all got a ring in recent memory. I mean, y'all all can't win a ring the same season,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the point I'm making is like, they all got a ring in recent memory. So you got to factor that in. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say. But
so what about Ja Morant? He's a superstar? Or superstar in the making?
I think he's a superstar in the making.
I'm strict with this superstar. I
am too.
I think it's three people.
I only got
so
five.
Who you got? Who y'all?
I said it already.
Who y'all got?
Steph Curry, Giannis, Kevin Durant. That's wow. That's it.
I got. Say that list again.
He said Steph Curry, Giannis, and KD.
That's it. Giannis and KD.
That's a special spot, man. You can't just throw around that superstar spot. All stars, all NBA first teams, like the superstar. That super spot is special. You gotta be special.
I can kind of see where you're going with that though.
But I think it's based on contemporaries too, though, because of when LeBron prior to going to Miami, right? How many people that can produce like how he was playing was getting rings other than Kobe?
Right.
Like Tim Duncan was getting rings, Kobe was getting rings, right?
It was the organizations.
It was like that, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is like prior to that, but now in this league, you got Curry won, you got Giannis won.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta put him in there. I mean, you can put Kawhi Leonard in there. You see what I'm saying? Even though recently he just not available. But
so Giannis has 2 rings, right?
Giannis got 1.
Okay.
Giannis got 1 ring. He got 1 ring. He beat Phoenix 2 years ago in the finals. So yeah, I mean, this is an interesting point to bring up. I just think like when I go by how I'm looking at it, it's easy for somebody to be like, well, I guess James Harden's a superstar because he got MVPs and he got all NBA and stuff like that, right? Because I would put Lillard over Harden because he's proven that on a high leverage moment higher than Harden, even though Harden got a little bit better resume. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just really, and neither one of them has won, but neither one of them can easily in the public eye say you're not a superstar because those other 4 or 5 guys have won. So it's like you got to cut the list off a little bit at some point.
So what 2 names would you be adding to Austin's list? Because you said 5.
Yeah, so I agree with him with KD. I agree with him about Steph and then Giannis, right?
Yeah.
So those are the 3. I gotta put Luka in there. And then I gotta put the spot superstar. Recalibrate. I mean, you got to put LeBron in there, or you could put.
I mean, but is LeBron a current superstar?
Current superstar?
Yeah.
No. But now that we're on a topic with you, Austin, I mean, let's kind of segue to what want to give our viewers what you had to say about what's on your mind right now.
What's on my mind? I mean, what's on my mind really is just I'm very paying close attention to the media, and I want to kind of get you guys' perspective on, like, specifically Charles Barkley and even Shaquille O'Neal. Like, I know Shaquille O'Neal talked about Kanye West, talking about he responded to, Kanye West talking about Balenciaga, and Shaquille O'Neal said something about, oh yeah, they dropped his dumb A. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and then with Charles Barkley being on CNN, just comparing black people to gay people. I know that's a heavy topic, but I mean, the question I have is, do you guys feel like these type of celebrities should have a say-so on certain topics like sociological change, politics? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I think it's more of just an agenda that's being in place. So you have celebrities that are going to be saying things that people in those situations are not going to agree with because it might not be going towards the agenda agenda that's being set in place. So I think that's why it happens. I mean, we call these people puppets, just being straight up. And that's kind of how it's always been. You can call it cooning, but you have these people just kind of going along with the agenda. So that's just kind of how I see it. So for me, it's just nonsense. But for the everyday American, I feel like it might be kind of hard to really navigate what's truth and what's not. But if you're really kind of conscious and just aware, then you probably look at things kind of how I look at it.
So basically saying if you're an everyday American, these type of comments from these type of quote unquote puppets hold more weight, basically.
In there, they just call it confusion. I feel like it's called confusion.
Right. I think a lot of it has to do with them just being out of touch with reality. You would think that with the amount of money that a lot of these people have earned, that it would buy you some more freedom to not have to necessarily go into spaces that, you're feeling coerced into. But, it just sounds, like just off the wall. A lot of things that some people say, like, i.e. Charles Barkley, So, over the years, I mean, I feel like the blanket has been revealed. I mean, underneath the covers of like who he is as a person. I mean, hell of a ball player growing up, but not necessarily the greatest person because he doesn't know how to, let people be in their space without trying to like condemn it or trying to criticize it. And if it's not what he understands, he just tries to dismiss it. So, there's a lot of people like that, but he goes to the extra length of disrespect for it. Like, almost like if you're talking to some player or pro that wasn't Kyrie with that temperament, they're probably like, you got to see me. Yeah. You got to talk. I got to talk to you like face to face, meaning like we might have to put some hands on.
And that's what I view. Like that's what I view as a sellout, though, because I'm pretty sure they get a large amount of money for saying certain things.
It's probably why Jordan don't talk to him no more. I ain't talked to him in 10 years. I mean, he came out to the media recently and said like how he don't. Him and Jordan ain't been on speaking terms now. Some of it has to do with probably Jordan's ego, but maybe Jordan saw some things too. It's hypothetically speaking, it's like that we are just now figuring out, but he's already seen that. I mean, you always see when the camera's on who a person really is. So,
yeah, it goes back to what SP was saying. It's like confusion, and it's like in a way, it's cognitive dissonance. It's like you got these figures that are entertaining. Like, yeah, they can make you laugh. They can make you happy, like Shaq say. You know what I'm saying? Then on the other hand, like they can say jarring things that doesn't really connect with what's really important. I hope that makes sense because it's like, yeah, like if you have certain values and somebody that you like says something against those values, it's kind of confusing. Mm-hmm. Like how you should like, all right, which side should I take? Like, and I feel like there's a lot of that going on when it comes to Kyrie Irving or Kanye West or anybody that has a pulse on the culture. Mm-hmm. And there's these people that come in that are likable, but they're speaking against other people that are iconic, or pushing the envelope.
Yeah, like it's like a little bit of like revolutionary versus traditionalist situation. A lot of these topics, but I mean, to me, when we do that comparison with how Kyrie's presenting things, him being a basketball player, like on the payroll, right versus somebody who's retired, it makes a retired person look like a weaker person. Because to me, it's like this is more of a time where you could be more, open about how you feel about certain things. You're no longer on the payroll with the NBA, and this gentleman is, but you are still taking that route.
But at the same time, they are still on the payroll. Part of the NBA collective.
Right, but my thing is that they're no longer playing anymore.
Yeah, but
I mean they've been broadcasting for 20 plus years now, so it's like not saying that you should just put an end to it, but if this gentleman could take a risk, why do you like? And you so like that's what I'm looking at.
But in that case, the player is more valuable than the person, the anchor. Mm-hmm. I mean, the player is getting more money in the particular moment. I mean, Charles Barkley probably don't have that many things. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but that's his main job, though. Probably. Yeah. So why would he jeopardize his main job? I mean, Kyrie, he can get endorsements. He can go outside and sign autographs for money.
Yeah, but my thing is he been making this money longer than Kyrie been born.
Yeah, but Kyrie's making more money now in today's time.
Right. He's earned more money versus Charles has been earning more money
over time,
but Kyrie's have earned more, like a bigger number on the short amount of time.
Short amount of time. I get what you're trying to say there. I mean, they all making money, and my thing is like you can't sit back and just look at like how somebody's perceiving certain things, but you got to insult them. I just feel like you going that level with it. Him and Shaq, they just kind of show it.
And I always ask the question why. Like I feel like nothing is on accident, everything is on purpose. So why is Shaq and Charles Barkley saying these things that don't make sense? Why? Who's really controlling it?
Yeah,
that's a rhetorical question that we should chew on a bit, because I don't have an answer for that.
No one does. We can only speculate.
But yeah, I think it's if nothing else, man, it's a healthy discussion to have and to hear. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just keeping it tucked. So, you know, who knows what's to come in the coming weeks? Like if it's gonna continue, I'm gonna bring it up because I feel like it should be discussed. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a clash in just, you know, how people think and the value. So that's why I like it.
Yeah, I agree. But you know, it's been a good time. Good time today. We got a lot that we covered. We talk about the Chicago Bulls as usual, per usual, league as a whole. Like what's going on? As we touched on earlier in this topic, earlier in the episode, the Chicago Bulls Monday going into November 28th, they're going to be playing, the Utah Jazz. So they'll be entertaining the Chicago, the Utah Jazz, which is obviously they dropped in seeding, but they're still a reputable team. They're playing better than we are on a grand scale as of recently, but they have lost. Actually, let me take that back. They have lost 7 of their last 10.
Yep.
So we'll see how we manifest with them, how we look to them. But it's been a good episode, NSA Bulls Podcast.
Before you wrap, the Bulls got the Jazz, they got the Suns and the Warriors. And I was talking to my brother like 3 games ago about their next 10 games. And I said they was going to go. What I said they was going to go? I said they was going to go like 10-5 or something like that, which is a big turnaround. And currently they 2-1. So what do you guys think of these next 3 games? The Jazz, the Suns, and the Warriors.
The Jazz, Suns, and Warriors. I probably gotta say, honestly, 1-2.
Okay,
they're gonna go 1-2. I would love to say 2-1 or 3-0, but you know what? Let me retract that. The Jazz, the Suns, and the Warriors. Where are they playing the Suns at?
I think they're on a road trip this week.
Yeah. So if they're on a road trip, as I've said before, I feel like they play better on the road than they do at home. So because of that, I'm gonna say if they're saying the Jazz, Suns, and Warriors all on the road, they're gonna lose to the Warriors at home. They can beat the Suns, but we'll see. I don't think they will, but it's a possibility.
Oh.
But the Jazz, they can beat the Jazz. But I'm gonna stick to the 1-2. I hope I'm wrong.
That's wrong.
I have no idea because I don't know what type of team to expect. So I'm just gonna tune in and we're gonna figure it out, man.
Yeah. If anything, I'll say 2-1, but I'm gonna stick on the 1-2.
I'll say 2-1. So here we go.
Yeah, but it's been a good episode. NSA Bulls Podcast. Another episode in the books. Appreciate y'all viewing. I know, as always, like, share, and subscribe. Till next week.
Peace.